Hi everyone, welcome and thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I'm so excited to have you and I'm so excited about this project today. We have our blank wall here. So behind me where I'm videoing is actually our front door. And this wall is the first thing you see when you walk in my house. We have a very small entryway, no foyer really to, put anything in. I do have like a little plant stand there and stuff when you first walked in. But anyway, very minimal, very small. And we have the staircase as soon as you walk in the front door. And then to the left is this room, which is now our current dining room. And this is the wall you see. It's just one big blank wall. We did paint this room as well as the room that you can see to the left here that we are going to also be DIYing soon. In Chantilly Lace, which is by Benjamin Moore. It's just a beautiful shade of white. And I just knew I wanted to do something on this wall, and I knew I did not want to put a furniture piece here because it's just, we came from a cluttered area, this room before. It's been quite a few things. It was a living room. It was empty at one point. It's kind of transitioned to a few different things. And now that we know it's going to be staying our dining room, it's just putting something here furniture-wise would have just cluttered it up. So instead of doing that, I decided it'd be a nice and fun idea to kind of create this little accent wall that's going to involve this shelf piece kind of up top. And when I say shelf, it's very, very, very small. It does not come out far, just about an inch. So I can use that to put kind of decorative things on. I can't wait to decorate that. And then you'll see towards the end of the video that I'm going to be adding hooks and all that. So anyway, I want to really let you know what I did. And I should say we did because my husband 100% did aid me in doing this. So our first step was obviously to go to buy the wood. So we went to our local Home Depot. I'm sure you can get this type of wood anywhere. My husband said it is a select pine. It is a wood that costs a little bit more money. I think you can buy similar wood for a little bit cheaper, but this particular wood he said took stain and paint very well, which we were doing both of. So we went ahead and bought this, and we got 8 of these kind of vertical wood pieces that you see here that I'm painting in between. And as you can see, there's 7 of them going vertically up to the shelf. And then we have one that makes that top shelf piece. So he had glued a 1x4 with a 1x2, if that makes sense, to make kind of that little shelf. And he had done that with wood glue, let that settle overnight. And then I took that whole piece outside and I stained it in a one of my favorite stain colors, Early American by Minwax. So that was the process of putting the shelf together. Was not that difficult. Okay, kid walked in, lost my train of thought. So the assembly of the shelf was, easy. Just let it the glue dried 24 hours, took it outside, stained it, let that dry for 24 hours, and then my husband shot it into the wall with some nails. And then we proceeded to take the vertical wood pieces and he trimmed them down to size. I believe the ones we got were 6 foot. And he trimmed them down to meet the shelf. Obviously, you do it as taller or short as you need for your space. And then he did shoot the majority of the vertical wood pieces into the wall, but there was a couple that we needed to glue because we have some piping and stuff issues behind that he didn't want to risk shooting into because it's a sore subject. It's an incident that happened prior, so we were trying to eliminate that. So he did use a Gorilla Glue that's made for like construction purposes to put these wood pieces on, and they are not moving. So that was great. Super good to know if you have an area in your home that you cannot you don't want a nail going through or a screw going through or anything like that. It definitely held these pieces beautifully. So he had put this on the wall, the wood pieces, and I let them kind of dry 24 to 48 hours. And now it's all me. I am going in with my black paint, which is Sherwin-Williams Tricorn black. Now this is the same black that I painted my inside of my front door, which was actually my first YouTube video. If you want to go check that out. So I painted the inside of my door as well as kind of the moldings going around the window and the that whole area in this tricorn black. And I love the color. And don't be alarmed if you do get this color. When I got the color and I first opened it, obviously now I know because I've already used it going in on doing this wall. But when I started doing the door with it, the black in the can did not look black enough to me, and I actually got a little nervous that I wasn't going to like the end result. And even when I did the first coat, like as you can see here, now obviously I painted on a white wall, so it doesn't look that black. But even like the black just kind of gives like, I don't know, to me it gave like a gray tinge to it, and I actually didn't like it at first. But man, after I do my 3 coats, which is I believe what I did on my door as well as what I'm going to be doing here. Here I'm on my second coat. It just comes out to be the perfect shade of black. It's not too stark, because if you just go with a flat black, sometimes that can be too much. But this black is so far so good. I'm gonna use this in a couple of accent areas throughout my home. So I'm super happy for the black color. And again, it's Sherwin-Williams and Tricorn black. And I'll put everything in the description box of what, I used. And everything was readily available at, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, kind of a store you have near you, I'm sure sells these particular types of brands. Although I know Home Depot sells more in the way of paint colors than Lowe's does. But anywho, so I am just on my second coat here, and I am loving the way it's looking. And obviously I had to painter's tape anything that I did not want to get the black on prior to starting painting. So I just painter's taped around the shelf itself, and I painted painter's tape the white moldings, which I'm going to go back and hit up with some white paint because first of all, they just needed it. And second of all, I wasn't being extra super careful because I knew I was going to be going back and hitting those with white. So I did get a little bit of black on them, but it's okay. We clean that up later in the video. And we are just going in hard now with the paint as our second coat. And a little backstory on our home. Can't even believe it. We've been here 13 years now. We moved into our house when my oldest, who is now 13, was 1, and my daughter, who's now 11, was 6 months. So it was a crazy time. We had our little dog Snoopy at the time. My husband was working a lot at the time. We just had a lot going on. So we've done many projects in our home, outside our home since then. But a lot of these types of projects, kind of DIY, which me and my husband do 99.9% ourselves, everything in the house. My husband's an electrician by trade, but he's a jack of all trades and knows how to do everything. So self-taught. So we take on a lot of projects on our own. I do what I can on my own. I try to do, I'm a little bit of a stubborn, I do probably things that I shouldn't be doing, but I do because I just really enjoy the process. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the start from finish. Everything takes a lot of patience and time. And obviously, even when you're DIYing, things cost money. Wood costs money, paint costs money, everything costs money. No, obviously, if you're paying for labor, that's a whole different animal. But, just because you say DIY doesn't mean cheap. So everything costs money. Okay, so no, I'm going to divert now. These are the hooks that my husband put on for me, and those I purchased on Amazon, and I'll put a link there too in case you're interested. They're like the super popular farmhousey type hooks, and I just love the way they look there. So when my husband drilled those into the wall, we just got some fall down of the dust. So I am just going back now and just getting all that dust picked up with the vacuum. But anyway, back on my soapbox about DIYing. It's everything costs money. So much of what we do and takes a ton of time. So a lot of what we do, a lot of these types of projects in the house, we start, we kind of take our time with it. I like everything to be done yesterday, but, I have to learn that patience is a virtue. So, so, I'm just super excited when I get these types of things done and I can move on to the decorating part, because that's like what I'm super, super excited about and can't wait to do. And I'll definitely put that in another video. I'm so excited for the decorating. But anyway, so now I'm going in with the white trim paint and just kind of going over the areas that needed it. And all these moldings needed it. I mean, we still have, as you can see there to the left, we have moldings that we have to complete from when we redid in here. So everything could use a touch up. So that's what I'm going back and doing right now. And then I'm going to be taking off this painter's tape, and I am so excited with how it came out. It was exactly how I wanted it. It really came out perfect. It took effort for sure, but I would say on the minimal side, and I think just makes a really big impact. And the outlet, I didn't remove the outlet. I just painter taped it. So I did have a little bit of white that showed through. So I just took one of my kids' paintbrushes and just used that black paint to fill that in. And even on the underside, there was a couple of white spots that I just wanted to get real quick. So now I am removing all that painter's tape. And as I was removing it, I noticed that some of the white trim paint did get on the side of the wood. I can almost probably sand some of it off, but I did go back in and kind of touch up those little areas with some more black paint, which was fine. Wasn't a big deal. I was able to do it with the small brush. And then I'm going to go back and get any paint that may have spilled onto the floor while I was doing all of this. And I'm going right now with my kids' paintbrush and just filling in all that black area. But I am so excited about how this came out. And if you have any questions or comments, now listen, I am not a painter by trade, which is probably very obvious if you are a painter by trade. I am a DIYer. I am a mom on a mission. I like to get things in my head and I like to execute. Sometimes I take shortcuts, sometimes I don't. I just always like to get everything to a place where I am super happy with the outcome. And this wall, I'm so happy. It came out so great. I cannot wait to decorate it. I got lots of things that I'm kind of hoarding in a pile in the corner of my dining room for this wall, and there it is. It came out so nice. If you guys have any more questions or anything regarding this video, or just want to give me a shout, say hi. I'd love to meet you. I'm so happy that you found me. I'm hopefully going to be doing tons of projects like this on this channel. I love to do decorating. I love to seasonally decorate. That's my jam. There's my little quarter pile of stuff I've been keeping, not only for this wall, but for my whole kind of dining room hutch, table, scape, and the whole to-do. But thank you so much for being here. I hope this motivated you to get some maybe DIY projects done in your home. We can do it together. We can mess up together, because that's what it's all about. I mess up, I go back, I fix, I cry a little, I laugh a little. That's how we do it here. Thank you so much for hanging with me, and I hope to see you in the next one, guys. DIY you later. Bye.